Well, I've already done that bit. But in addition to my own fame, Kyle is famous. It's been a hot minute since I've played this game. So I'm into it. I also noticed that there's a whole bunch of like Twitch integration now and stuff from like New Blood that they've changed. So, or I guess just updated, not changed. But yeah, let's play.
Kyle woke up. He is famous.
For instance, the voiceover.
Kyle is host of the most popular talk show in recent memory, Stay Up Late with Kyle.
Okay.
Stay Up Late with Kyle has grown in popularity quickly in the last year, and the public has noticed. Inside has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man.
Just like me!
Top Tech noted that Kyle is inspiring youth to explore STEM fields.
Okay.
Most other talk shows are dedicated to discussing Kyle and his personal details.
Just like me.
Most online videos are best-of clips taken from Kyle's latest broadcast. The eye of the world is upon Kyle. Tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. Stay Up Late with Kyle will be featuring Rachel May. She is a kind and lovely philanthropist. She is dear to the hearts of many. This interview requires preparation. Kyle cracked his eyes open, knowing today is his last chance to prepare for the interview.
I love this.
Kyle has 30 hours left. He must choose his actions wisely.
Start preparing. We'll choose a slick suit.
Kyle miraculously crammed his dumpy body into the suit. The chest pockets were filled with random knickknacks.
That's right, my phone is broken still. The last time that I played. We'll go ahead and visit the downstairs
Kyle
neighbor.
approached his downstairs neighbor's door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door.
Consume Gabby. Scream and spin. We'll scream and spin.
Slowly, Kyle started to twirl outside of Gabby's door, arms outstretched. He tilted his neck upwards and let loose a long, passionate, and meaningful scream. As Kyle continued to spin, Gabby shut and locked her door, as she did every time Kyle screamed outside her door.
Oh, perfect. This is something normal.
Eventually, Kyle ran out of breath and fell over.
Perfect. We'll go ahead and visit the tech store. Kyle walked into the clean white tech store. He was greeted by Techno Jim, an elaborate cutout mascot playing soft music from a small microphone. Give review of free sample or steal Techno Jim. I'll go ahead and give a review.
This phone, said Kyle, is several years old and has exposed wires coming out of the back. Kyle continued. Also, the screen has had issues ever since I used it to hammer nails into the wall.
God.
Furthermore, when I submerge it in water, I get severely shocked until it runs out of battery. The attendant looked at Kyle, pursed his lips, and said nothing. Feeling he had made his argument, Kyle decided to leave.
I am so glad that I have wasted 19 hours or 11 hours, 21 hours on this. Goodness. Kyle walked out. Let's visit the tech store again. And we'll steal Techno Jim.
Quickly, before the attendant could acknowledge him, Kyle grabbed Techno Jim by the shoulders. Finding that Techno Jim's cardboard feet were bolted to the ground, Kyle started to heave upwards. After several tugs, Techno Jim broke free, leaving one foot and one leg behind.
Okay.
Kyle glanced at the attendant, who was staring, bewildered, and ran outside. Kyle hurried to the set.
This will be great. So we have a broken phone. We're wearing a suit. We have Techno Jim with us and short-term amnesia.
Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity.
Oh.
As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to being here.
Interview Techno Jim instead.
Kyle roughly shoved Rachel out of her seat and placed Techno Jim in her stead. Hello, Techno Jim, said Kyle. I'm going to interview you today.
Oh my.
Kyle grasped Techno Jim's hand and tried to shake it, but instead tore it off the cardboard frame.
Sick.
Kyle's producer, sensing viral media, pulled the bewildered Rachel out of frame and motioned the crew to go live.
Is this more popular than Rachel May?
Cameramen moved, lights flashed, and suddenly the studio was on air.
Oh God.
Hi, I'm Kyle, said Kyle, and tonight I'm going to interview a very special guest. He pointed at Techno Jim using the dismembered arm.
Oh no.
Techno Jim started to smoke from the heat of the lights.
Cool. Fire.
Would you like to introduce yourself? Asked Kyle. Knowing Jim would probably not speak, Kyle took it upon himself to be his voice as well. Hi, Kyle,
Hi,
he said,
Kyle.
raising the pitch of his voice. My name is Rachel May, and I'm a very special guest. Rachel's expression of confusion turned to shock. Well, Rachel, you look way too thin and absolutely terrible, and you should feel ugly. Kyle gave Jim a meaningful stare. Wow, Kyle, he said. I sure wish I could look like you. Techno Jim burst into flames.
Well, now he's hot like me.
Instantaneously, the sprinkler system initiated. Curtains of water poured down from the rafters. Within seconds, the production equipment was doused in water. The set was soon aburst with electrical fires. Kyle's crew abandoned their posts as cameramen and sound mixers to try to put the fires out.
Okay.
As the crew scrambled around, the cameras continued to run. Kyle sat, motionless, staring forward. Eventually, the fires were all put out. Kyle's producer shut off the broadcast, leaving Kyle's vacant stare as the final frame.
Cool.
Kyle's ratings skyrocketed.
More famous than ever.
Techno Jim became a staple on the show, often ending up destroyed by the end of each episode.
I should get a new
Although
phone
Rachel
for this.
did not come back on the show, her cardboard portrayal did. Rachel was very popular.
Kyle interviewed Rachel. That's great. Not the ending I was looking for, but...
Kyle woke up.
Yeah. We know. He's famous. Okay. Exit bedroom to hallway. Walk into the small hallway that connects the room of his apartments together. Check the locked door. We'll force it open again.
Kyle decided it would be best to try to force the door open with use of his face. After smashing his features into solid wood for several minutes, Kyle gained severe short-term amnesia.
We'll go back to the bedroom. We'll get dressed. Open closet. We need an outfit.
Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit.
A suit. Perfect. We'll go ahead and we'll leave our apartment. So we'll visit downstairs neighbor.
Kyle approached his downstairs neighbor's door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door.
We'll start talking.
Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly.
Ask Gabby about Gabby.
Gabby, asked Kyle, tell me about yourself.
Are we gonna date Gabby?
Gabby stiffened. Oh, you know, she said, putting on a fake smile. I just sit around here.
And watch my show,
yes, right? I don't get around much. Never go out at night. I just stay here. Right here. Gabby glared at Kyle.
Okay.
Convinced by Gabby's statement, Kyle bid her goodbye and returned to the street.
Okay, we'll go back to the apartment and let's go to the kitchen. Walk to the center of the kitchen. Open the fridge.
Kyle
but
hurried to the
don't have any time. Showtime. Approach Rachel.
Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to being here. Kyle responded.
Forget her name from Amnesia.
Hello.
Oh.
You. Kyle's ears began to ring from his concussion. Rachel looked at Kyle, slightly confused, but continued smiling. Before she noticed the glazed look in Kyle's eyes, the producer approached. Time to get started, he said, putting a hand on Kyle's shoulder. Let's get stationed. Kyle sat in the nearest chair, which was Rachel's. After a moment, Rachel hesitantly sat in the host chair. A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked
Is she
on.
gonna take... She's gonna take our job.
Good morning, everyone, said Kyle. My name is... Kyle made a desperate effort to remember his name, or really anything.
Oh, no.
Kyle looked at Rachel. Do you know who I am? He asked. Rachel looked back, confused.
Oh, no.
Who are you? Well, if you're not Kyle, I don't know who you are, Rachel smiled sweetly.
Oh,
Kyle
thanks,
made up
girl.
his mind that he was probably Kyle.
Probably.
Well, he said, I'm Kyle. A long silence followed.
Awkward.
Eventually, Rachel spoke again. And I'm Rachel. Hi, everyone. She waved.
Oh.
Hi, Rachel, said Kyle. So why are we here?
To get fired. You're gonna
Rachel
get
was visibly
fired.
worried. Ha ha, funny, she said. Weren't you planning on asking me any questions? I mean, I don't have any ideas, said Kyle. Kyle kept staring at Rachel. Someone coughed. Kyle looked around and noticed the crew.
Girl, just start saying things.
Who on earth are all of you? He asked. Nobody answered. Kyle got out of his chair and walked off frame, leaving Rachel alone with millions of viewers.
Oh no.
Rachel smiled at the camera nervously. Well, she said, let me tell you some knock-knock jokes.
She's gonna become a comedian.
Eventually, the producer ended the broadcast early due to technical issues. Kyle woke up in his bed the next day, remembering nothing about what had happened.
Oh god. Kyle forgot everything. I think this is gonna be our last playthrough for this one. So we've had amnesia for one of them, and we interviewed Rachel, Techno Jim. Let's browse social
Kyle
media.
started to scroll through news articles on his phone. Stay Up Late with Kyle ranked #1 and #2 show on television.
Okay.
New East Bridge being constructed after being found to not actually exist. Authorities investigating.
Okay. Interesting.
Another grand larceny and crime spree streak. Evidence points to perpetrator fleeing the country.
Interesting.
Rachel May to unexpectedly leave the country on very, very long vacation after interview tonight.
Huh.
Who is the bug vigilante recently spotted pursuing larcenists? Kyle fails to show up to several charity events.
And at that, we're leaving the bed. Write notes for interview.
Kyle wrote down his first question.
Are you a mother? Beef, mashed or blended? I purposely ran over at what? Do you ever smile? What's your funniest story? Are you guilty? Feel guilty.
Kyle ripped his page of notes out of the notebook and got up from the desk.
Apartment, visit downstairs neighbor.
Kyle approached his downstairs neighbor's door and knocked.
I don't know. We might as well say hi.
A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door. Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly.
Let's ask her about Rachel.
Gabby, Kyle asked, what are your true thoughts about Rachel May? Oh, Rachel? Gabby said. She's a wonderful woman. Her generous acts have inspired more good work than bad.
Okay.
Kyle hurried. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity.
Yes,
As
she's
Kyle
happy to be
approached her,
here.
A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking at the camera. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle.
Introduce Rachel.
Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction.
I kind of want to do it, but we won't.
Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm glad to be here. In response, Kyle collapsed on the floor.
Why?
From a combination of stressful preparation and not eating anything, Kyle had passed out.
That was not where I was heading with this.
Kyle was left face first on the floor.
Uh-huh. Kyle prepared by starving him. Okay. Well, that was 3 interesting endings. I passed out from starvation. I forgot who I was. And I interviewed Techno Jim. I want to play more. If you made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you're not new and just haven't subscribed yet, there's little Mr. Maryland right down here. Subscribe to see some more of him too. Bye!